So we're going to discuss Algebra 1, Module 4, Lesson 1. And this is the second part. This is going to be about multiplying a polynomial by a polynomial. So here's an example of such a problem. So let's think if we had x plus 3 times x plus 2. And what I'd like you to think of is, I'd like you to think of this as an example of using the distributor property twice. If I'd asked you to do x times x plus 2, you would have no problem knowing that the x has to get multiplied by the x and the 2. We used what's called the distributor property, and we get x squared plus 2x. And then in a similar fashion, if I'd asked you to do 3 times x plus 2, then you would distribute the 3 on the both terms, and you get 3x plus 6. So all I'm asking you to do is the same thing here. Think of this as two distributor properties just written in a compact way. We're supposed to multiply x by both terms. So x times x gives us x squared, and x times 2 gives us plus 2x. All right? And then we have to do it again, but this time we're going to distribute the 3. So 3 times x is 3x, and 2 times x is 6. You can see how it's color-coded there. So our final answer is going to be x squared, and you should look to combine any like terms. These two terms are the same, so that's plus 5x plus 6. So there you go. There's your answer. Let's try another example. So it'll be the same idea, just maybe slightly more complicated terms. So maybe I have 2z plus 4y times 5z minus y. Okay. Well, again, think of the distributor property twice. This term needs to get distributed onto both of these. And then afterwards, the 4y will also have to get distributed onto both of these. All right, so let's do it in a color-coded way. So we're going to do 2z times 5x. That would be 10xz. And then we have 2z times negative y. It's going to be, now you can write it a couple of ways. You can put plus negative 2yz. It's negative because you're doing a positive number times a negative number. All right. You could have also written that as just minus instead if you like. Whenever you see plus negative like this, you could just treat it like a subtraction. We'll do that in a minute. All right, so now you have 4y times 5x. That's going to be plus 20xy. And then you have 4y times negative y. So that's going to be minus 4y squared. Okay, so there's not much to simplify here other than this plus minus to make it into a negative, so we can do that. But you'll notice that none of these terms are like terms. So they're all just going to stay separate from one another. All right. Let's talk about one more example before we go. So let's consider this problem. X squared plus x plus 2 times x plus 3. Okay? And this is why I like to think of the distributor property. In this case, what you'll notice is not only am I distributing one term onto both terms of the other polynomial, but I have to do that again for the second term. And then, here's what's new, again for the third term. So this is like 3 distributor properties in one problem. So let's do the work. So x squared times x is x cubed, and x squared times 3 is 3x squared. And now you have x times x, that's x squared, and then x times 3 is plus 3x. And then lastly, you have 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 3 is 6. Okay? And just like all the other problems, you should look to combine like terms. We have some like terms here, and some like terms here. So here we go. We get x cubed plus x cubed, 3x squared plus x squared is 4x squared, plus 3x plus 2x is 5x, plus 6. And there's your answer. Thanks for watching.